B, start with a statement.
Yes, many things to appreciate about tonight, but I would just say this to the fans, to the Champaign-Urbana community, and I know in our Department of Athletics, I know Josh and his crew did a lot of things to try and make this game the best environment that we've had since I've been here, and I thought that was accomplished. Even coming over today, we came over for a walkthrough about 11:30, I guess it was, and saw the buzz in the tailgate section, and our kids were commenting about it, and it's kind of a day that hopefully is an indication of what we can do even more, right? It's not just us on the football field. It's the people of the Department of Athletics. It's the University of Illinois. It's our fans. It's just really cool, awesome moment. To Art Sikowski, Fabrizio, Will came in there. I think we had 4 starters go down during the course of the day today, and they just continue to come in and do what we asked them to do. I give a lot of credit to our coaches to have those guys. It was interesting on Wednesday. I always challenge our guys, hey, do something today you've never done. Make this the best Wednesday of the year. And I said on Wednesday, hey, why don't we make it a concerted effort to make our twos as good as we possibly can today, because somebody's going to get called upon. And unfortunately, that ended up coming true, but our guys did champion the moment. Art grabbed me and he said, been here, done this, Coach. I said, absolutely. But things get rewarded, and couldn't be happier for our players. With that, I guess I'll open up for questions.
The major storyline seems to be overcoming adversity.
Yeah.
To get this win, can you just comment on that?
Yeah, I think a lot of our guys, to be with this group since last January, obviously a lot of guys were with us last year, but I think since January we just kept putting things in front of them, how they've overcome it, they define you, right? This was opportunity number 6. It just happened to be against Iowa, but this was really about our chance to be at home, play a Big Ten West opponent, and see what we can do. Extremely proud, right? This is the first time we beat them since 2008, but it's the first time we've had a combo platter beating Wisconsin and Iowa since 1989. I think I was 19 at the time, right? So just a lot of really good hurdles that we just keep clearing and going forward. And you don't, for those moments of setbacks or obstacles or whatever you want to phrase them as, you have to trust and faith and that your response is going to be the right way, and we had a lot of guys deliver today.
Fabrizio, how long did he know he would be in that role? Like, was it a late in the week thing, or was it early in the week? And what is it about him that kind of allowed him in big moments to deliver like that?
It was at kickoff. Caleb kicked Tuesday. No, he didn't kick Tuesday, but kicked Thursday and felt really good. So our plan today going into it was Caleb was going to hit from the 25 and in. Anything long range was going to be breezy. Will was going to happen, but I give Caleb a lot of credit. He knew enough to back out, right? He knew he couldn't do it. He kicked that PAT in pregame warmups, and you could just tell. So we went with breezy, and he went out there and connected time and time again. But I would tell you, today was just a culmination. We've seen this now throughout camp, through last spring. There's several times we do what we call rapid-fire field goal at the beginning of practice, and I can't tell you how many times Breezy's gone 4 for 4 since he's been here. So I'm not shocked. At halftime, I literally said, hey, Art, we know you got us and we got you. I said, Breezy, keep doing what you're doing. Isaiah was still, up and running at that time. I knew he had gone through a tough first half. We kind of withstood their hardest moment, right? Like I told our guys, even though it's a home game, this is a good team we're playing that knows how to win football games. They're going to have their moment, and we got to survive it. And I think it was that punt turnover and then the turnover in the low red for them to only get 6 points or 3 points right there was just we have the best fire department in the history of the United States, right? Our defense just continues to come out, put out fires left and right, and don't bat an eye.
What are you worried about your team in the Grizzly, back and forth game where you got to probably manage it a different way? But what are you worried about your team when they continue to do this at Penn State and so forth?
I told Josh, right, when we were interviewing, right, like you're getting the best version of me, all right, that I've ever had. And this week I made a very specific point. Hey, don't get frustrated when you look up at that scoreboard. Offensively, they're a good defense. Don't get frustrated when we have 4 and outs. You can only control the moment. It's hard enough to beat their 11. Don't make it 12 by playing for them and getting frustrated. And that was literally one of the last things I showed last night was the start of the third quarter in 3 games that they played this year where it was like 3-3, 6-3, 9-3. I'm like, and then I look up at the scoreboard and it's 6-6. I'm like, man, I hate it when I'm somewhat right, and I think because they had been preached to all week, they weren't really shocked by that moment. And it's just a fun group to be around, man. Like I can't tell you how much I enjoy being around these players and coaches, and it shows. They play for each other. There's a lot of tears, a lot of emotion out there, and we get to buckle up, Buttercup, and do it again this week.
What do you have to say about Chase Brown? 7 consecutive 100 yards. I mean, he just keeps establishing the run game every game.
He just grinded it out today, right? Like I was shocked when I looked at the stat sheet just coming in here and saw the number of. I did, you know. I know we talked specifically at halftime. Our plan is working. All right, I know it's a score that we don't want to see. You want more results, more points, but I knew Chase would kind of grind it out and wear them down and make a couple big plays, and it's exactly how it played out.
Coach, Matthew Bailey is one of the last recruits you added to this recruiting class. When you offered him that scholarship, is this the kind of impact you expected from this freshman?
So Matt was a very unique recruiting process. I remember watching his film the first time. I absolutely loved him, and I think it's a great thing for us to learn as coaches. He came in and ran for us like right in the middle of a track season where he ran like 4 track meets in a 10-day window. We get the old magic watch on him, and we didn't love the time, but I just loved his demeanor, his personality. His mom and dad, mom is an incredible woman that raised a great kid, and I just had a feeling after that first couple weeks in camp that he's one of these kids that good fortune happens to. And he got a new hairdo this week. First thing I said to him, I said, "Mom, seen that hair yet?" And he's just a joy to be around. I'm not surprised. He just, the good Lord tapped him on the head twice. Like, he gets a lot of great breaks.
Was Tommy an ankle?
What?
Tommy an ankle?
Is Tommy in his ankle?
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, it was an ankle right now. I don't know what the extent of it is. I haven't seen him yet.
Is this a classic example of a game you can teach off of because it's a W tonight? There was a point where you're -3 in turnovers, and
Yeah.
it just seems like this is a game where you can teach.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Listen to you after a W.
Well, and it's not that these guys don't listen. Like I think these guys, were very appreciative of the win today. I think they did earn it. This is a classic team. When you're playing Iowa, they sit around and let you beat yourself, right? And when we withstood that right before the end of the half, I mean, Isaiah is one of the most sure-handed guys we have, right? And to have him bang those 2 ones, I knew it was going to be a tough moment for him to persevere. Our guys rallied around him, and then obviously the reversal of the play with Art. But there's a few times today where the review booth didn't go our way either, right? I know Isaiah, got knocked out with a concussion because I thought he got targeted, but that didn't go our way. So he just lived the moment and hopefully advance. And I couldn't be more excited to be a 5-1 football team. I'd love to be 6-0, but I think the adversity we learned in Indiana, coming out of that locker room and getting to be where we are right now, this team knows how to win.
Bret, what went wrong in the red zone, Hart's interception,
Yeah.
and then obviously third down where almost was disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, he's a guy that once we start season, I would bet it's somewhere like 80-20. Like, Tommy, the ones get like 80% of the reps. You just don't have much time in the practices. So he just hadn't played a lot of football since he got injured, a year ago at Penn State. And I know Barry, made certain calls and things. He was trying to cater to that moment. That interception was, one of those classic moments. If we can't get it, they can't get it, right? But you're playing a good defense that buckles up down there in the red area. Great teaching moment. Art has, without a doubt, has shown me that every moment that he takes a rep, he learns, right? So great news is we survived in advance on this one. If he's our starter this week, if Tommy can't go, I couldn't be more excited to watch him work.
Some personnel changes in the secondary. Was that the matchup with Terrell Jennings playing some boundary corner and then Juan at the free?
Well, we lost Taz early. Taz, I think, had a concussion as well. So they came in midway through the first quarter and said Taz is out. So that brought Rello in, and then once Rello was in, then we wanted to match up absolutely to where they're at and who they're throwing. We got done with that first series. They said, hey, 84 is the only guy that's really, going to be able to hurt us. So we kind of took him and tried to do some things to take him away from the game plan.
Being a top defense, obviously you have to prepare for a player like Gordon. What do you tell your team going up against a tough? I mean, they run a lot, but passing game is also there too.
Yeah, I think anytime you have a great player, we always talk about who are the players that can beat you, and he's obviously one of them. I think our defense, I was told coming down here today that we're the only team in the entire country that hadn't given up a touchdown at home. Like, that statistic is just amazing when you think about it, but give a lot of credit to our defensive coaches, our defensive players, the responses they have. I thought Tariq Barnes played really well today. Johnny and Keith continue to be impressive. I thought, Calvin had some things. Gabe Ackus continues to flourish. Have Dylan Rosiak, who came in once Darkangelo went down. It's just, kind of like the Bad News Bears. I've said it several times. We don't have really a marquee player. We just got a bunch of really good players that play really well. I thought, yeah, and they came in the second half, right? Like I really have been impressed. Bart is really a coach who, in my opinion, gets better as the game goes on. He does a great job of reading and understanding what they do up front. We started doing some different things in the block game, and some of those runs started hitting when we changed up our calls and our techniques on some of those blocks. So a tremendous credit to our offensive line and Bart in particular, but Barry obviously spearheads that whole thing.
You kept talking about your rematch tour in the last couple games have been teams that beat
Yeah.
last year. Coming up with a team you beat last year.
That's right.
They probably saw
See, you're
it
quick.
right.
You're quick. You got it.
Been doing this right.
So this is will be our fourth rematch game, but this will be the first rematch game that we won, right? So Minnesota is a very good football team. Hard-fought game last year, but no point tackle or first down from last year's game carries into this week's game. So I think the big thing for us this week is to get healthy and see exactly where we're at. I think Minnesota, from what I've seen on them film, just a little bit. Obviously, the run game, they're playing really good on defense. Be a tremendous challenge for us.
Like Hugh Robertson has put it together in a field position game like that.
What's that?
Hugh Robertson.
Oh, gosh.
How big was his day today?
Yeah, Hugh gave me a huge hug there and said, thanks for believing me. I said, bro, thanks for being here, right? Like, he just went through some struggles and came through today with an Aussie punt, with a, I'm not calling him an Aussie, that's what it's called when we go to the right. And then we had a pooch, a couple of them die inside the 1 yard line or inside the 5. I thought our special teams in general, just the everybody piecing it together was pretty impressive. The specialists themselves and also our coverage units.
The defense kind of mentally allows them to come out and put out those kind of fires so consistently.
Is it what?
What about them mentally makes them able to?
They're just strong. It all starts, I think, with what we do from January. I told these guys, listen, Wisconsin last week and this week against Iowa, you haven't just been training for these guys this week. We've been training since last January to win these type of games. I knew that this game was going to be different than Wisconsin. I told our coaches all week. I kept our offensive coaches afterwards with the defense coaches out there the other day. I said, listen, don't get frustrated. It's going to be frustrating. You're going to walk off the field after 3 and outs, and you got to hold it together, keep your composure. And then obviously defensively the same thing. I knew we'd play well, and what you don't want those guys to do is when the offense isn't going well, they're not in all those meetings and have them come off and start barking at the offensive guys. So they were encouraging them, and just a great team victory. This was complimentary football at its finest. I'm not saying I want to win every game like this. I like to score points, keep people engaged, and get it was. But this is the way you would have to beat Iowa for us this year, losing 4 or 5 guys to injury. This is what you need to do to win this game. When our guys can adapt how they win to the opponent we're playing, now you got something. Now you got something. I think that's what we got.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Players.